What in God's name is going on? Who can explain what's happening around us? So many voices. Which to believe? I'm Jerry Palladino, and I'm as perplexed as you are. Let's talk about it. What a confusing time. So many things happening right now in our world, and so many theories about it all. How do we understand and make our way forward? What's the correct storyline regarding all this happening? How can we know who is speaking accurately about the current situation and where we're headed? Thankfully, someone sits high and above all that happens on our planet and sees the end from the beginning. From all we have learned of his nature and character, everything indicates that he does not want us to be in the dark about these happenings, but rather to walk in the light and be not ignorant about what's going on. He wants to help us understand exactly what's happening and where it's all leading. Interestingly enough, some of the major things that seem new and chaotic to us right now were actually predicted hundreds or even thousands of years ago, well in advance of our day. And if we really want to know what's coming down, the answers are there for us in the writings of the prophets. According to prophecies in both the Jewish and Christian scriptures, it appears the last government on this earth is definitely not going to be a democracy, but a totalitarian, authoritarian government. They describe a global government with a one world leader setting the agenda and having his way. His personality and actions are laid out in both the Old and New Testaments, and we can piece together what his reign will look like from studying those books. And interestingly enough, as we read about it all, it's fascinating to see that the world is indeed, even now, heading in that exact direction. Along with this global government and its fearsome leader, we see references to what looks like a great dependency on technology, at a time that we are indeed moving towards a technocracy, which the dictionary defines as the government or control of society by an elite of technical experts. Government by technicians. Management of society by technical experts. One of the most outstanding forecasts about what this leader will do with technology is regarding a large image, statue, form, or likeness that he will have erected or set up, which will both speak and be able to issue commands, causing whoever it deems necessary to be killed. Something that never happened or was even possible in the past. But now think AI, artificial intelligence, and just see how close we are to something like that being possible in our present age. Join that together with the creation of a database of every living person on the planet with face recognition technology, and you have something incredibly similar to what was predicted 2,000 years ago. This thing, whatever it is, will also control the world's financial system. No one will be able to sell or buy anything, online or otherwise, without somehow being marked in their bodies with what was called back then a stamp or inscription, something that many have assumed would be a chip of some kind implanted in our bodies. Remember now that this was foretold 2,000 years ago, in the days of the Roman Empire in which Jesus and the first Christians lived and worked. A day of physical coins and pieces of gold, silver, stones, and other valuable materials from the earth representing value, long before paper currency, checks, deeds, titles, stocks and bonds, or now Bitcoin, were even dreamed of. The day was foretold when there would be no buying or selling happening on earth without some kind of number issued to each individual in the realm. A lot of very good researchers and podcast people these days are studying the situation and have pointed to some very interesting facts that indicate various possible sources of where it's coming from and where it might be headed. It's interesting to hear their takes and speculations about what's happening and where we're possibly going. But ultimately, God has already given us an outline, the big picture, the main events that will come, all the way to the end of the story of this world that He created. So, Why don't we look to him, see what he has to say, to help us understand just what's going on here and what the final outcome might be? After all, he has his plans in mind as well, and knows where we're really heading, in spite of anyone else's plans and intentions. And thankfully, he has promised in those same writings that love will reign in the end. And meanwhile, he alone can give us the peace of heart and mind to endure whatever comes our way. So let's all look to him, shall we?
I dreamed when I was young of a better world for all. I tried to do my part and live as if to say